Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, or Kakadash. Yahweh being the true name for the Heavenly Father. Yahushai being the name for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught me the truth and rule well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh coming at you now. Let's do spirit power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This lesson is going to be doing a response to the article I just came across today when looking up updates as far as this RFID microchip implant goes and where is it standing currently in society. Well, this article says Kyrie Irving debuts signature shoe inspired by RFID chips. Government secretly implants in anesthetized patients. All right, so here's his shoe here, and it's got the RFID chip on the side of it, or the picture of it. Okay, it says claiming he wanted a sneaker that reflected his deepest passions, NBA star Kyrie Irving held a press conference Friday to debut his new Nike Kyrie 7 signature shoe, modeled after the RFID chips the government implants in the brains of every citizen who gets anesthetized. It says, I really want a design that speaks to how the government is slowly taking over our minds through intrusive thoughts that are telegraphed into our brains with implanted microchips. This is just further evidence that this technology is here, the reality of it, and how close we are to this thing being made mandatory for them to implant into every single person that's living in this nation. And they also want to have this as part of the agenda of what they call the New World Order. This is going to be part of the thing of the New World Order, is to microchip all citizens. That's their goal, because it's going to make all citizens the perfect slave for whatever government system that is in place and in charge. These things have the ability to control your thoughts, to track you, to control what you buy, what you sell, what you eat, what you don't eat, to track your exercise movements, anything you could really think about. I mean, down to even reading your brain, man. You know, and eventually it will come to the point to where if you have one of these things in your brain, they've already got technology that's came out that was on that show. I believe it was 60 Minutes, where they had this dude that invented this device, like a headset down his head, and he was able to order a pizza and search the internet with just his brainwave, just his thoughts, instead of actually speaking, you know, how you speak to Siri and so on and so forth. This dude didn't have to say a word. Just with his thoughts, he was able to search the internet and order a pizza. Okay? And that was a device that was just hanging on top of his head. But these things have the capability to where inside your brain, they can do the exact same thing. And they did studies where scientists basically took memories from one mouse that knew how to go through a maze, and then put an implant into another mouse and transferred the memories to the next mouse. You know, this is what's in store for the world. You know, up until the Lord returns, these are the things that they're trying to push. Okay, so Kyrie Irving is basically bringing it out. Now, I didn't know that they actually are doing this. You know, I do know that they do sneak in RFID microchips and different prosthetics devices such as hip replacements and knee replacements and so on and so forth. I've seen those, you know, physically. I've seen them inside those different devices. So you got to be real careful when you're going into surgery. You know, if you get an injury that where you got to go to ESOL to get fixed or healed or whatever because it's some car accident, basically emergency situation where you had to be to the ER, and they determined that they need to put some type of device in you when it comes to like a hip replacement, a knee replacement, shoulder replacement, or brain injuries, whatever. You know, you really got to go take the time to read the fine print of what the fuck they're getting ready to do to you, and make sure your family is on board with that. And make sure they're aware of what you don't want them to do is not put the damn mark of the beast inside you. Okay? Because that's what this technology is. In the Bible, it's reference to the mark of the beast. And if you get it, you're going to burn. The Lord's going to punish you. regardless of what the situation is, you don't want to get this inside your body, man. It is the mark of the beast, and the scriptures talk about in of receiving it in the forehead or in the hand, and we're going to bring it out. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go into some photos here of what I've got, so you can actually see what the device looks like here. Okay, now you've seen a little bit picture of it on the side of the shoe. That's one form of it, but this is the main thing right here that they're actually putting inside people's hands. It's surgically implanted with a hypodermic needle. Okay, and this is what it looks like up close. It's roughly the size of a grain of rice, as you can see, and compared to a grain of rice, you know, this one's slightly bigger than that particular grain of rice, but some of them are even smaller than this. All right, and this is what it looks like when it's inside the hand here. Okay, here you got in the left hand and the right hand 2 RFID chips placed. Okay, this is how it's in place. Okay, this article says more than 4,000 Swedes have had $180 microchips embedded into through their thumbs. This is just November 15, 2018. So this was just a year ago this article came out. You know, these numbers have increased since then dramatically. Okay, it says the microchips are encased in a shell slightly larger than a grain of rice. The chip is inserted just under a person's skin, often in their hand. The chip allows the person to pay for items, access their building, and their computers. Okay, so these are the capabilities of it. Now we're going to get the scriptures out on this thing, because it is in the Bible and it was talked about over 2,000 years ago. Okay, this is Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Which means 666. So let's start out with the first verse that I read, in verse 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so this right here is telling you this is something that is placed inside. Okay, and it says that basically anybody and everyone, regardless of your social status, regardless how much money you make, they're going to cause all these people to get this thing. You know, except the Lord's elect, they're going to refuse it unto death. But other than that, these people will be getting this. Okay. Now the word mark here says to receive a mark. We can break down that word to further prove that it's talking about something that's surgically implanted. What I've done is taken a screenshot of the Blue Letter Bible Dictionary of this particular scripture. We're breaking down that word mark. It was translated from the Greek language, this particular book of Revelation. And the Greek word for charagma Greek word for mark is charagma, okay? Charagma, that's the Greek word for mark. Now we're going to get what charagma actually means. What's the definition of that? Okay, this is from the Theological Dictionary of the New Testament, Volume 9. Charagma. In the Greek world, charagma is an engraved, etched, branded, or inscribed mark or sign. Closest to the original sense is the earliest example in where charagma denotes the bite of a snake. Okay? Now remember that. That's important. Alright, it also means impress, imprinted, to stamp, to brand. Okay? Also can go into money. Can mean money as a form of currency. Alright, now remember that picture I showed you. What is it next to? A coin or money. And what did this thing say right here? How they work. They're used to pay for items. So this is a form of currency. And it also talks about the bite of a snake. Okay, not only does it represent currency and be able to buy or sell, pay for something, but the word mark itself says it represents the bite of a snake, meaning a snake's tooth. Okay, now look at the snake's tooth in comparison to a hypodermic needle. It's damn near identical. The prophets of old did not have hypodermic needles 2,000 years ago. But what he did see is a vision of the future. Okay, so he had to use the everyday items from 2,000 years ago to describe what he was seeing. And the vision didn't have the Greek language or whatever language that the prophet was speaking in didn't say hypodermic needle. I mean, how is he also going to describe what he's looking at? He's going to use a comparison of what he sees today, and that's a pretty good comparison to use the bite of a snake. Kurama, okay? Now, this is proving that this is talking about how this thing is administered, and he's seeing it being placed in the right hand or in the forehead. Now, remember the x-ray we showed you, right? There's the right hand in the right hand. And another scripture just says hand. It's not even side specific, so right or left. This is future prophecy. Okay, here's it being placed with the hypodermic needle inside. All right, foreheads. Kyrie Irving's bringing out that with the anesthesia, they're putting RFID chips in people's brains, you know, and they don't even know it. Now, here's from the movie Dr. Strange showed you an x-ray of one in a person's skull. The owner of Tesla is pioneering technology right now to use RFID chips for the cars, smart cars, and all the super high-tech stuff this dude has invented. So it's a reality, okay? You them making plans to put the chip right here. Again, that's from the movie Doctor Strange. All right, and this is the reality of it. It's right here at home, in this place that people call America. Check it out.
To implant tiny microchips into its employees. Not just but the chips could allow people to unlock office doors, make purchases. Rebecca, come on here.
So many questions about.
Okay, so this was a company 3 Square Market. This was back in 2017. They had over 50 employees get this chip, and they advertised it on Good Morning America. So it's real, man, and this was prophesied again thousands of years ago. And this is the power of the scriptures of the Holy Bible. But people try to say it isn't true. It has tons of prophecies like this. Tons of prophecies. Even though I was learning about the prophecy of Alexander the Great rising and falling into power. That was prophesied in the Bible. And I also learned that Alexander the Great even knew that he was in the Bible written of, he was spoken of. You know, so how much more evidence do you need when you have stuff like this taking place right in front of your very eyes? Okay, receive and mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Now, even the lady just said, hey, make purchases. So you go to the grocery store, you will have to have this in your hand to make your purchases. Just like they mandated that all the current credit cards and hard cards, the plastic cards you're using, have to be fitted with that RFID chip inside the card. Well, guess what? They're going to phase out those, and they're going to switch over to this chip, this microchip implant. Exact same way they phased out the regular credit cards. The exact same way cash is being phased out. They're mentally conditioning people to accept this. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So bottom line is, you don't have it, they're going to restrict you from being able to buy or sell, which means you're going to need the faith in the Lord to provide for you. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. This is letting you know who's doing the shit, who's in charge of it. Okay, 666. It also tells you how what system is being used. Represents the barcode here, as you can see. Okay, and then this is also 666. The elites, their controlling system. They're being the ones that's going to be pushing this. And all these celebrities and politicians and popes and stuff you see in these photos of all throwing up the symbol 666. They all will be advertising this chip. They're all part of the system. The devil, man. Esau. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Those people, man, that is really running the show. They're going to be in charge for forcing this thing out and making it mandatory to get. And we're warning you people boldly. If you don't take heed, then you're going to be caught slipping. This is Revelation 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of the torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's the judgment if you take this chip. You're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone, which the Lord can make you feel that pain to make it seem like it's an eternity of suffering. Forever and ever. It's a long time. Okay? Tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb, which is in the presence of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And the presence of his real name is Yahweh Shai. You're going to be tormented because he's going to be tormenting you. Okay? That's that wrath you're going to drink of if you take this chip. That's how serious it is. But you see how these people just make it like it's nothing? That's how Satan works, man. Makes it so easy to commit the sin and accept his ways. It's been being advertised.
Got it. 36-hour delayed activation in case Lane's apostles scan them. So you...
Okay, so there you go. They advertise it in Mission Impossible. And then look what Trump said.
Upper tracking. Number 8. We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
All right, and if you pay attention to what's going on in society and all these lessons brothers are uploading, giving you updates on this chip, he stuck to his word. This system is in place. It hasn't been forced upon people mandatory to get it yet. But basically what he's saying that, hey, they're going to invent this RFID microchip implant. They're going to perfect it. It's going to be available on land, air, and sea. He's going to make sure this tracking system is in place. And then look what else is going on within the world, man. ID 2020 and partners launch program to provide digital ID with vaccines. And what do you think that's going to lead to? The RFID microchip implant. They're already coming out with all sorts of laws when it comes to traveling and using your driver's license to get on planes or whatever and passports. They're cracking down. So during Trump's first campaign to become president, they basically used the Trump puppet. The elites used him to tell you what they're going to be doing. So this year, the year of Kurama, they've came out with so many technologies of this RFID microchip implant and its uses and what it's applied to, from the weapons, the use for vehicles. You got a lady that's controlling her Tesla car with an RFID microchip, man. You got other countries in China just making it mandatory to get this thing. It's all here ready to go. The only thing that's left is for them to say, hey, they force you to get it. You either get it or be in prison or die. That's it. That's going to retort to, and ultimately it will result to death. I'm either going to be beheaded for refusing to get this. Okay? This is Psalms 83:3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They are planning this right now as I speak. They're taking counsels on how they want to force this thing upon the people. This is why they're trying to come up with all these damn school shootings. That shit is orchestrated because they want to take away the guns from people so they can't defend themselves if they refuse to get this thing. And there will be millions that refuse it. Because you got some Christian churches that actually do teach about the chip. You got a lot of patriotic gung-ho Edomites that know that this is the mark of the beast and think that they belong in the book, and they're not going to take the chip. They're going to refuse to take it. This is Psalms 85:11 says, truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. The truth is coming out. Even some of these celebrities that's already juiced in heavily within Illuminati, even some of them are blowing the whistle on this damn thing. You know? Which most of them, they can't say nothing unless it's approved through their head bosses that they done committed all types of sin and sacrifices for. So Kyrie, he may be putting that out there on purpose. You never know. Or he may be coming against the system. And if that's the case, watch something happen to him to get him back in order. You know? These celebrities don't give a damn. He'll be one of the first to take the chip in his body. This is Ezekiel 33:6. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So yeah, we gotta snitch. We gotta bring the truth out on this, because we don't want the blood of all these people being on our hands. We can't say we didn't warn you. You know, brother's been putting out literally hundreds of videos on this Mark of the Beast. It's on YouTube, and you got billions that see YouTube every day, from listening to music, watching platforms, and everybody has came across some type of Israelite video spreading the truth. So there's no excuse. Whether they hear about it from somebody else or they physically see it. Luke 12:2, it says, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. The Lord is going to reveal all the wickedness. Even though he's going to allow some wicked people to take it to justify judging them. But nonetheless, the truth is going to be out there on it. He's not going to just leave everybody not knowing. You know? This is Jeremiah 16, verse 17. It says, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. So you think you're going to accept stuff like this? If any of you decide to take the chip, the Lord sees you taking it. You can't hide your sin from him. And you can't try to make excuse to justify your actions to getting it. You have to be faithful unto death. You have to have faith that the Lord is going to provide for you. You know, and if you starve to death from refusing to take it, well, guess what? You've just been made a faithful martyr with the Lord. And that's a rough way to go out. You know, and I doubt the Lord will make you suffer like that if you're truly sincere in your faith. And if you're an Israelite, you should be okay. You know, but we're getting in some trying times. And this thing is being made a big time reality. When you got big name, you know, celebrities coming out saying, hey, the RFID's here and this is what they're doing. They're putting it in people that have been anesthetized in surgery unwillingly. You know, that's something to take note of. The truth is out. Cat's out the bag, as they say. So, you know, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught this truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, that's pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Shalom.